Have you ever felt totally stuck? I mean, just completely out of gas, like you've lost all your momentum. Well, today we're going to break down 5 keys to get it all back. And this is all inspired by how Tony Robbins himself clawed his way up from rock bottom. Let's dive right in. So to really understand how to build momentum, we've got to start by looking at what it's like to have absolutely none. We're going to begin at the lowest point because, that's often where the most powerful, life-altering changes really start. For young Tony Robbins, the problem felt absolutely overwhelming.
I want you to just picture this for a second. It's Christmas Eve. A teenage Tony has just been kicked out of his house by his own mother. He's been ripped away from his younger brother and sister, who are like the most important people in his world. He has nothing. He's still a kid in high school, and he's walking totally alone in the rain, just trying to figure out what on earth comes next.
And look, this wasn't just a single bad day, it was like a total free fall, one thing after another. From being thrown out on Christmas Eve to literally sleeping in a friend's laundry room, he felt this depression that was so deep, he started questioning everything. And it was right there, in that brutal moment, that he was forced to make a choice. Stay down or find a way up.
So how did he do it? How did he turn it all around? Well, this is the roadmap he basically developed. We're going to walk through how to manage your mental and physical input, how to channel your output by finding role models and taking action, and then there's this really surprising key, the generosity principle. And it's all held together by this one core philosophy about what really makes people happy.
Okay, so the very first principle is all about what you allow into your system. Seriously, what you feed your mind and what you do with your body, it fundamentally shapes the quality of your entire life. So step 1 is you have to become a guard at the door of your own mind.
Tony's mentor, Jim Rohn, had this killer analogy. Think about it. If your worst enemy puts a spoonful of sugar in your coffee, what happens? You just have sweet coffee. No big deal. But what if your best friend, even by total accident, puts one tiny drop of poison in it? You're dead. The lesson is so clear. You have to protect your mind from negativity, from fear, from doubt, and it doesn't matter where it comes from.
So what's the antidote to all that mental poison? It's a daily practice. For at least 30 minutes every single day, you have to actively pursue great ideas. Go find them in books or audio programs. Don't just sit back and consume all the clickbait and fear that gets shoved in your face. And then, and this is the important part, you have to apply what you learn. Just knowing more stuff is useless. It's learning that leads to action that will actually change your life.
But here's the thing. Managing your input isn't just about what's going on in your head. It's about your body, too. And that brings up a really important question. If you want to follow through on any of this stuff, how do you actually build a discipline to get it done?
And the answer is so simple, but it's not easy. You build the muscle of discipline by using it. You have to consistently and voluntarily do things you don't feel like doing. You are literally training your brain to push right through that feeling of discomfort.
I mean, just look at Tony Robbins' daily routine. He starts every single day by jumping into 56-degree water. Yeah, it's a huge physical shock to the system, but what's more important is the message it sends to his brain. It tells his mind, I don't negotiate. When I say we're doing something, we do it. It doesn't have to be a cold plunge. It could be a brisk walk when you'd rather hit snooze. But the act of pushing your body builds the psychological strength you need for everything else.
All right, so once you've got your input dialed in, you've got a strong mind and a disciplined body, now it's time to focus on your output. This is all about finding a path forward and, maybe most importantly, just getting into motion.
Listen, you do not have to reinvent the wheel here. Success leaves clues. Find a role model. Find someone who started with absolutely nothing, like the legendary investor Sir John Templeton, and study them. See how they got through their dark times. Their story isn't just fluffy inspiration, it's actual proof that there is a way. It's a reminder that what you want to do is possible.
So once you have that role model, once you have that proof that it can be done, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need to do something, anything. The single most important step you can take is to just get in motion.
Because that first little action, it creates a ripple. It makes the next action a little bit easier, and the next one a little easier than that. That's how momentum is born. It's a chain reaction, and it all starts with one single, imperfect step forward. And once you're moving, then you can start to course correct. Then you can see what's working, what's not, and you can adjust your aim. Think about it. You can't steer a parked car. That's why taking massive, even messy, action is the engine that lets you navigate to where you want to go. Okay, this brings us to the final key, and honestly, it might be the most counterintuitive one of them all.
This is a principle that works best, especially when you feel like you have absolutely nothing left to give.
So at another really low point in his life, Tony Robbins was completely broke. We're talking no money for rent, not even enough for gas. All he had in the entire world was 19 bucks.
And in this moment of just total clarity, while he's wrestling with his own sense of lack, he sees someone else who's in need and he makes this radical choice. He gave away every single penny he had. And that one act completely flipped his entire mindset from a state of scarcity to a state of contribution.
And then this right here is the heart of the whole principle. The cure for feeling like you don't have enough is not getting more stuff, it's giving. By choosing to give, even when it's really hard, you're basically telling yourself, I already have enough. And that just shatters the psychological grip that scarcity has on you.
So what does this all add up to? Managing your input, modeling success, taking massive action, giving back. What do all these keys actually unlock? Well, it all boils down to one simple core idea. This is the ultimate equation. Lasting happiness doesn't come from finally achieving some goal. I mean, sure, that feeling's great, but it's temporary. True, sustainable fulfillment comes from the feeling of making progress. When you feel yourself growing, learning, expanding, that's when you feel truly alive.
And that is really the ultimate takeaway here. Applying these 5 keys isn't about getting to some magical finish line. It's about building a system for consistent, never-ending growth. Because that journey of progress is the destination. That's the real source of momentum and happiness in life.
So we're going to leave you with this question. Forget about the 5-year plan for just a minute. Based on everything we just talked about, what is one small thing you can do right now, today, to feed your mind, or strengthen your body, or just take one step forward? What is one action that will create a little bit of progress for you?